Retain is the first federally funded early intervention effort to integrate healthcare and employment services to help people stay at work or return to work after a work-limiting injury or illness. It is led by the United States Department of Labor's Office of Disability Employment Policy, ODEP, in partnership with DOL's Employment and Training Administration, Chief Evaluation Office, and the Social Security Administration. In Retain Phase 2, 5 states, Kansas, Kentucky, Minnesota, Ohio, and Vermont participated. Here are their stories.
So like I said, we have a lot of inputs and outputs in electrical switchgear and instrumentation. My name is Chuck Campbell. I'm a plant administrator for the City of Toledo Department of Public Utilities. This is where the water comes in from the intake, and we do a lot of different readings and feed some different chemicals. I was going down a state route with a friend of mine on the back of my motorcycle. I saw a gray object on the side of the road. I recognized that it's a dog, very large dog. It did jump out in front of me, went under my front tire. Flew head first, kind of Supermaned over the handlebars, went in shock, don't remember anything, so it's hard to depict all that, but I had a broken right clavicle. It was shattered pretty good. It required surgery a couple of weeks later. It wasn't going to grow back together. I had 5 broken ribs, a lot of trauma and impact, and some road rash.
Chuck utilized Ohio Retain to get back to work and regain stability in his life. His nurse coordinator provided support for his medical and emotional needs to ensure he felt supported in his recovery.
My role working with the participants is to, find out their diagnosis, get them enrolled in the program, and once they're enrolled in the program, we start, reaching out however often they need.
The most important was the contact with my coordinator, Nurse Sherry.
Doing all of the nursing-based care, but making sure they're set up for success in their recovery.
Having her call me, her clinical skills, her psychological skills also, not just the technical medical side.
In Chuck's case, he actually was a big advocate. We talked about the program, what the program has to offer. He was 1,000% on board and said, this is amazing.
Okay.
In his role as an administrator, he obviously knows the ins and outs and what people need.
Good. Yeah.
Is we want to make sure that the employer and the employee are both within the program so we can coordinate together.
I would recommend Retain services to other employers. Getting that employee back to work is obviously a lot easier than replacing that employee. Recruiting is very difficult. I know the city experiences that on a regular basis. So if you can bring somebody back who we know is completely capable of doing their job, and we do have to just do an accommodation, work from home schedule, a different desk, a different setup. If we can do some of those things where it's minimal impact to the city, then why wouldn't we?
Helping people, I know that sounds simple, but the most fulfilling thing is making sure people have what they need, get the resources that they need, have the emotional support that they need, encourage people that it's okay to ask for help.
Not being able to drive, in particular the broken ribs, really hurt bad, and that took a long time to recover from.
Retain Ohio has had a significant impact. To date, we have enrolled over 5,000 participants. These individuals, needed assistance whether they were returning to work, staying at work, or some were seeking employment. So while we were helping them recover from their injury or illness, we were also helping them seek out a job opportunity. And we've had a really, really high success rate.
My coordinator, Nurse Sherry, really cared and had the technical knowledge along with the emotional support, which was wonderful. I definitely think that Retain, getting you back to work, helping you get back to work, is a very important component of the healing process.